Last year, I got to speak on a special panel for entrepreneurs at MIT out in Boston. Spoke with my good friend and client, Keegan Caldwell, and his firm, talking about the value of intellectual property for founders and entrepreneurs. I think there's an interesting fact that most people don't understand. The S&P 500, so the largest companies in the world, in the stock market, when people call the stock market, they're talking about the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 back in the day around 1980, basically around 18% of the value of the S&P 500 was intellectual property, ideas, strategies, like non-tangible stuff. But 82% of the value of the S&P back then was actual physical inventory, assets that were tangible. It's completely flipped. Now, intellectual property represents close to 80% of the value in the S&P 500, which means what's valuable about these stocks and these companies, not the buildings or the inventory or the assets they're selling. The value is in the ideas and the strategies, patents. And when I was with my client Keegan on that MIT panel, we talked about another mutual friend and client that had a value on their intellectual property assessed by a third party and appraised for $250 million, which allows that client access to liquidity and a loan for up to $125 million. And this IP is really what's valuable in that company. If you're a founder or an investor, an entrepreneur, think about companies that have great ideas, strategies. They have those ideas protected. I think that's one of the benefits our clients have in working with a great IP firm like Keegan's. You get the actual protection on the ideas and strategies that you've created to make your business so valuable. The value of intellectual property today cannot be understated. You're going to hear more about it in the next few years. It's something that the big companies already know. Those of us who are in the middle market, we need to start paying attention because intellectual property is valuable.